Welcome to Gutter Trash episode 240, Stay Hungry. My name is Eric.
I am Jason.
How's it going?
It's going well.
Yeah.
And you, sir?
I am doing fine.
Yeah. Is it because of the perfectious weather we have outside?
I don't think that's a word.
Weather?
Yep.
It means, rain and such. Or lack thereof. Today is beautiful.
Yeah, it is. I don't think that's a word either.
Well, maybe it is. Maybe it's not. But it's so pretty out.
It is very nice out.
We discussed actually doing the show outside today.
Mm-hmm.
Like a picnic podcast.
Yeah, that would be impossible to do.
But it would be worth trying.
Not really. Not as far as podcast quality goes.
Right, well, yeah.
Just for our own enjoyment, it would be nice.
Oh, it's lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Do you think? It's hard not to use expletives. Last episode, Eric made a claim that he was going to try to not use expletives this episode, and it's just put us way off. We're off our game.
Yep.
Oh, you even have the much coveted, the ever elusive caffeinated root beer known as Barks.
Yes, I do.
So, man, you should be on the top of your game.
Well, I haven't drank any of it yet, really, so,
that's probably
yeah.
And I'm mellowed out with Bob Marley tea.
Right. And I'm, realizing that when I swear, it is an absolute crutch.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
So I'm going to be very quiet this episode.
This entire season, as you started to say.
Also, there's that thing we just watched.
Oh.
Which kind of has me screwed up in the head at the moment.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It was like a fever dream.
No.
I mean, with the people involved, every time someone appeared on screen, because it has a number of famous people.
It does, but, because I think when you picked this movie, you were, anticipating some sort of madcap, crazy thing with all these celebrities.
Right.
But, most of them are, at the beginnings of their careers in this movie.
Well, yeah.
And also some of them just barely appear.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, the combination of people is just it seems so surreal to me. It's not like you watched an old movie that had, Jeff Bridges and then I don't know.
Did.
Similar.
I just did.
But I mean, and
I literally just saw an old movie with Jeff Bridges.
Well, I'm saying Jeff Bridges with I don't know, some other similar actors. But I mean, every actor that's put together in this, it seems like they're all from completely different edges of their field.
As we know them now.
Yeah.
In 1976, though, neither of us were alive.
That's right.
Or at least aware enough to know it.
All right. Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was not Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right.
In this movie, he was a completely different human being entirely.
Oh, yeah.
And Sally Field, I'd say she's fairly well known for dramatic acting, as is Jeff Bridges, and Ned Begley Jr. is mostly known as a joke who occasionally appears in bit roles.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And
Robert Englund.
Robert Englund, of course, he's
pre-Freddy Krueger.
Pre-Freddy Krueger, but I've also seen him in other things before he was Freddy Krueger, and seems to be playing a similar character to.
He's really good in this movie.
Oh yeah,
I think he was my favorite performer in this movie.
But other old movies I've seen him in before, Nightmare on Elm Street, he always plays sort of the wacky, rednecky type of guy.
Right, yeah.
And that's, sort of what he's playing here.
Yeah. He's the guy that oils down Arnold before he does his muscle
oils
off.
Down or oils up?
I saw him do a little up and down, I think. he went all over. He might have even done some side to side.
Maybe some circular motions.
Oh yeah. Don't get close to dirty here.
I can think dirty, I just can't speak it.
Okay, so this is like church time.
Yeah, sort of.
Right. But yeah, not a good movie.
No.
Just let that cat right out of the bag. There's maybe like 3 scenes that I thought were great. Like the scene where Jeff Bridges steals a painting for Sally Field.
Right.
That was great.
Yeah.
And there's a couple other fun scenes, but overall it's just kind of a slog.
I don't know. I like to reserve the term slog for a special kind of movie. I don't think this was a slog, but it's not good. I did have just a pervasive feeling throughout the entire thing where I just wanted to look at you and ask you what I was watching. Because I didn't know.
You mean like
and
if it was a comedy or like a story, what the story was supposed to be?
Yeah, I didn't know this. What I don't think I get. I mean, I get what the story was supposed to be, or at least the plot,
Right.
which I am using quotes.
Yeah, it could. The plot could have been a lot better.
Yeah.
A lot better. The plot is fine, as I think I understand it to supposedly be.
Right.
But it could have been presented a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's mostly just a character piece about Jeff Bridges is a socialite
Right.
who has lost his parents, and so now he is just sort of floating along in the world, not really knowing what he wants to do with his life. He's part of this shady
Investment.
this real estate agency, and he is supposed to go buy a gym that is a key piece of property that they're going to tear down and build a skyrise.
Right.
And then he winds up basically sort of becoming friends with everyone in this gym, and decides that he doesn't really want to pursue this interest anymore.
So that's a nice, heartwarming little tale.
Sure. And then there's the rest of the movie.
Yeah. Pretty clunky. It's very clunky.
Oh, yeah. So at this gym he meets, this ragtag group of folk, including Sally Field as love interest. Robert Englund as just a good old boy who
Oils up everybody.
oils up people, and Arnold Schwarzenegger as Joe Santo, the prospective Mr. Universe who's training for the Mr. Universe contest.
Who, when we meet him, is in like a costume from Eyes Wide Shut.
He is, well, this is what I took away. Maybe I am looking way too much into this. But isn't there a Mexican wrestler named Santo that was like super famous and like in a lot of movies?
Oh, was there?
Yeah, like a lot of schlocky Mexican horror movies.
Well, I don't know.
I'm sure if I called Matt Brassfield right now, he would confirm or deny.
Because it did sort of have like a luchador sort of
Exactly, yeah. So
style.
I was thinking that, maybe it was sort of a play on that.
No, maybe. I'm not familiar with that. Not at all.
So I want to say that we because you and I watched the Turkish Spider-Man Captain America team-up movie.
Oh yeah,
which
that's great.
in which Spider-Man is actually a villain.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think the other guy in that movie was supposed to be Santo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the
Man.
guy that teams up with Captain America.
Now that movie was a good movie compared to Stay Hungry.
Only because there's a scene in that movie where somebody's face gets chewed off with guinea pigs.
That happens in every Spider-Man film, but this was the first.
That's what happens to Dennis Leary in The Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh.
Spoiler.
That's how Uncle Ben really died when Joe, what's his name? Joe Palooka. I don't know. What's the robber's name that kills Uncle Ben?
Doesn't have a name.
Does he not? I thought it was Joe something.
No.
Oh, I'm thinking of Joe Chill.
You're thinking of Batman.
Yeah.
Which, it's a common mistake.
Right. Maybe it was the same guy. Maybe he found the wormhole into the Marvel Universe.
Oh.
Because he didn't die in the 30s.
Yeah.
He wormholed into the 60s in Marvel.
Wow. Ooh.
Possibly.
It could happen.
Call me up, Amalgam, whenever you guys are ready for Amalgam Part 2.
3.
Oh, they have it on the second one?
Yeah.
Wow. Missed it. When was that? 90s?
Yeah, shortly after the first one.
Oh, wow. I don't remember it at all.
I believe the second one is where we got Lobo the Duck.
Oh, I remember Lobo the Duck.
Thorian.
Oh, jeez.
The combination of
Stretching
Thor,
it. They were really stretching it on some of this.
I think that one was also the one where we had the Dark Claw animated adventures.
Oh, that was from the second one? Okay,
Yeah.
see, I remember some of these, and my mind thought they were all the first one.
they all sort of just melt together.
Right. Yeah.
What a crazy time in comics that was.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That'll never happen again.
You don't think?
I don't think so. At least not as long as the current corporate giants of Marvel and DC are running things.
Do they still have those in print? Like those
I don't
in,
think so.
Like JLA Avengers and any of that stuff?
I don't think so. I think, whatever the last printing of either of those was it.
You guys need to get on eBay and get your copies now.
I'm sure you can find plenty of copies.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think JLA Avengers was definitely the last one.
Yeah, that's the last one I remember.
Just sort of like both companies coming together and saying, "Let's do this for George."
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
All right.
Yeah, that's cool. Scatman Crothers.
Man, Crothers.
Now there's something you can use as a substitute for an expletive.
Scatman?
Yeah. or just Scatman Crothers even. Like the whole name. Anytime you're excited or upset. Just, Scatman Crothers, the gas is expensive.
Oh, I mean, when we're done recording, I'm going to swear like I always do. I'm just trying to, I don't know why, but just, I want to try to keep it clean this episode.
That's interesting.
Ideally, I would have liked to have done it without announcing it. Just to see if anyone would have noticed.
Didn't we mention it last episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was trying to do it last episode.
Oh, I got you.
And I screwed up.
Okay.
I almost just did it there.
You almost Scatman Crothers all over the place.
Scatman Crothers is also in this movie.
He's basically the Alfred of the movie.
Sort of.
If Jeff Bridges is Batman. Because he did lose his parents.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Except he lost him as a 20-something-year-old.
Right. They do mention Batman in this movie.
They do. To the guy who would go on to play Mr. Freeze. What? And we were just talking about Spider-Man. And we got to see Aunt May's butt.
That's true. Yeah, Sally Field's an attractive young lady in this movie. Yeah. She had a certain spice to her that I think was really attractive. Not so much?
Not really a fan.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked her. She's cool.
Yeah. I think in general, I'm just not really a fan of
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't think of anything that I've ever truly enjoyed her in. Not that I've seen a ton with her in it.
Right.
And as Aunt May, she was barely in that movie.
Wasn't she Mrs. Lincoln? Mary Lincoln?
Yeah, I never saw that movie.
Okay, Mary Tyler.
Or will I?
Yeah. She was pretty good in that. Yeah, I'm not. I would never say like, "Hey, there's a new Sally Field movie out. Let's get some popcorn
Well, I don't
and watch
think
that."
anyone would, but
I almost used the bad word there.
no, you can swear all you want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just me.
Well, but yeah, no, yeah, she's fine. She's fine.
Yeah,
Nothing
yeah.
against her.
Yeah, I don't have anything against her. I just, I don't know, she was just sort of in this movie, and
Right.
I didn't see what the big deal about her was that both Jeff Bridges and Arnold Schwarzenegger would be,
She had that spice.
yeah, there's no spice.
I thought she had kind of spice to her.
No spice. Bland like rye.
Bland like an episode of Enterprise. I watched 2 episodes of Enterprise
Okay,
with
that's
Kathleen.
a terrible show.
It's, I wouldn't even say terrible, but I would say it is the very definition of bland.
Right,
Like, every opportunity they had to make it interesting, they just bypassed.
right.
And they told a story, and, it was, like, logical or whatever, like, followed a, narrative, but
Right.
it was just the blandest show I think I've ever seen.
That's, I don't know, pretty much my general opinion of Star Trek as
Right.
a whole.
This one more so than any of the others, I would
Yeah,
say.
I mean,
I like Next Generation, and I like the original, but it's more nostalgia, I think.
Yeah. I've seen like 5 episodes of Enterprise, and I didn't enjoy any of them except for they did one of the Mirror Darkly episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Where we get to see the evil twins.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And even that was just sort of, it wound up being just, meh.
Plus, it's been done. It's not like...
Right, yeah.
I guess there's an episode, because Enterprise stars Scott Bakula, who was
Right.
from Quantum Leap. I guess there's an episode where the guy who played Al is on the show, and I was like, oh, that might be kind of fun to watch.
Right,
But I haven't seen that one.
right. Because your lady friend is watching these in order.
Yeah, she's watched...
Chronological order.
Chronological.
As far as continuity goes.
Yeah, she decided to do this with every Star Trek ever.
Right. So basically, you're not treating her well.
Because she's in a place where she wants to watch every Star Trek.
Yeah.
Oh.
Instead of, hanging out with you or doing things.
Oh, well, we watched some together.
Well, that's more of just a punishment on you at that
Well,
point.
yeah,
right?
it's true. It's possible.
Hey, everyone has to have a hobby, I guess.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with some Star Trek. Just something wrong with Enterprise.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, stay hungry, man.
Not a...
So yeah. I mean, basically, yeah. You told the whole story. I mean, it's like a love triangle, and like, Jeff Bridges learning a lesson about people are more important than his money grubbing firm or whatever.
And even then, I don't think he was ever
Yeah, he didn't start out with like that sort of
attitude.
Right.
Yeah, he was just sort of lost.
meandering. Yeah,
Yeah.
very. Yeah.
And by the end of the movie, he supposedly has found his calling to, spoiler, open a gym
Yeah.
with Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Yeah.
who is essentially playing Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right. Yeah, if you've ever seen the movie Pumpin' Iron,
Yeah.
like all the scenes where Arnold's in the gym in this movie or like backstage at the Mr. Universe, it looks like he's just, it's like an extra scene from Pumpin' Iron. He's just,
Yeah.
he seems very, very comfortable in those scenes. Maybe not so comfortable when he's playing the fiddle in a bluegrass band,
No. Yeah.
which that was a sight to see.
Yeah. Not a great sight.
It wasn't off-putting, but it was very strange
Right.
to see Arnold playing in a bluegrass band in this movie.
Yeah. But the character itself though was pretty much based on Arnold, an Austrian immigrant who was also a curling champion at one point in time.
Was he really a curling
yeah.
champion? Wow.
Yeah. And then bodybuilder and Mr. Universe winner.
Huh.
Yeah. I did because I was bored while watching this movie. That I looked it up on Wikipedia, also to help me clarify just what was happening.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I did, because I saw it in the credits also, that it was based on a book. So I wanted to figure out, like if there's like, it's based on like the idea of a book,
Or if it's like word for word.
Right. And for the most part, it's. I guess the book is mostly about the Joe Santos character,
Mm-hmm.
who has a completely different background that they go in depth into in the book, and the Jeff Bridges character is actually just sort of peripheral.
Huh, that might actually make more sense.
Yeah.
Because the Jeff Bridges character, like you said, he seems like an odd choice for the central character of this movie.
Right.
Because except for whenever he has like little spats with Sally Field, he just seems like he's just kind of there.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It was, not good.
Disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert Englund was great, and there's a couple funny scenes, but yeah, just not awesome.
Yeah. I did like that at the end of the movie, spoiler, that there is the owner of the gym, Thor Erickson, who is just this old dude in a tracksuit
with an awesome toupee.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that they did reveal at the end that it was indeed a toupee.
Yeah,
because I was afraid that they were going to go through this entire movie and just nope, that's his real hair.
Yeah, because it was pretty fake looking.
Oh yeah, it was the worst. Yeah. And that is the only positive thing I have to say about this movie.
His toupee reveal?
Yeah.
I thought the scene where Thor and Jeff Bridges have a fight...
It's a pretty good fight.
It was pretty good. Like, Jeff Bridges, and that was really him.
Right.
You could tell doing those stunts. I mean, he was, like, jumping onto stairwells and things. And,
right.
I mean, I was impressed by the action scene there.
Yeah, it certainly livened this movie up for about a minute.
Yeah. If only there was more of those.
But okay, I will say this. Like about a year ago, I started watching a whole bunch of Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. His classics.
Yeah.
Running Man, Terminator and Predator and whatnot, Commando. And I sort of came to the realization that Arnold Schwarzenegger is a terrible, terrible actor. But I mean, his movies are enjoyable though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think he was legitimately good in this movie.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And probably because, like you said, it was because it was so, natural to him.
Oh, it was in his domain.
Right,
yeah.
But no, yeah, he's very good. He's, if anything, the only reason to watch this movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's a curiosity. If you're an Arnold fan, it's definitely worth watching because you get to see young Arnold, and you get to see him in his prime doing some bodybuilding moves,
Right.
And just wearing his little black spandex panties,
Right.
and and then and you get to see him like play a fiddle with a bluegrass band, and that scene where he's they're at the party and like it kind of goes wrong, and I really felt for Arnold, like when he's like apologizing to the other members of the band, and I was like,
Right.
I believed him, I was like,
Right.
this is really happening. So yeah, that was, there's a few interesting parts, but just not a good overall.
No.
Yeah.
I can't even say that it's just quirky enough or weird enough to sit through. It's just not. It's
Right.
This movie is just not.
Yeah, there's probably a reason that neither one of us have seen it before,
Right, yeah.
because no one has ever been like, hey, you have to see this.
Right.
Like, it's not good enough or bad enough to say, hey, you have to see this.
Right.
It's just kind of there.
Yeah. There. I can't really think of anything else to say.
Yeah. Yeah, what else is there, really?
Yeah.
Stay hungry. And avoid this movie.
Good advice on both parts.
Yeah.
All right,
You want to
then.
go outside and walk around?
We can go outside
It's
and walk
beautiful.
around. Yeah. It's perfectious.
It is perfectious today.
That is the closest I've sweared so far.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
Hi, we're back at Gutter Trash Podcast. Hi.
Hi.
So how do you feel?
I feel alright.
I feel good.
Yeah? Yeah.
Something we've never done before.
Never. Something I've never done before.
Yeah.
Exercise.
Oh, I think it meant walk together. We took a walk together.
Yeah, we did.
Just like a couple of gay dudes.
Oh, yeah. With our Batman and Mouth of the Architect t-shirts. Walking through Kettering, Ohio.
It was awesome. It's so beautiful outside
It
today.
is really nice. This is the kind of weather I wish it was all summer long.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hot. It's not cold. It's just perfect.
Yeah, it's like
Perfectious.
Yeah, yeah. I like that word. You should write that down. It's like sunny yet cool.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, I love it.
Good times.
Mhm.
And, the neighborhood is nice when there's not, children in their underwear running
Yeah.
around burning things.
Right. And yeah, we saw like old people enjoying their lawn, like one lady working on her lawn and one guy just chilling on his porch. And,
We saw some kitties and some puppies.
yeah.
Got barked at by some of them, too.
Yeah.
By the kitties.
The clone kitties, because all three of them were in different houses and they all looked exactly the same. They were like that white and orange
Yeah.
combo. It's weird.
Oh, that's the best kind of cat.
Maybe like one cat in the neighborhood had a litter of kittens and they just distributed them around all the neighbors.
Could be. It's a high possibility.
Yeah, lovely. Lovely.
Indeed.
We had a walkabout,
We're a couple of homosexuals.
and then we're fine with that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We don't curse. We just walk around and look at kitties together.
My ex-girlfriend lived in the apartment above me for like 3 or 4 years, and
Until she realized you were homosexual.
until she realized I was a homosexual, and then she left. But she always asked, we should go for a walk sometime, and I said sure, and then we never did.
Yeah.
And so the first time that since I have lived in this building.
Wow.
This is the first time I've walked around the neighborhood.
Wow. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I've often thought about this, and I don't want to think about this, but my dog's getting older,
Right.
and eventually, I'm sure I'll outlive her
Yeah.
unless there's like a bus crash or something, or you just murder me
Right.
in one of your violent tears.
Right. Sadly, any of these situations are going to happen.
Right. They're all more likely than not.
Right.
But yeah, the first thing I do every morning when I get up is walk my dog.
Yeah.
And one of the last things I do in the evening when I'm in for the night is walk my dog.
Right.
And I know that's something I'm going to probably always do.
Yeah.
At first I thought maybe I'll get one of those things that has like a leash attached to like a wire hoop that's supposed to look like an invisible dog.
Don't do
I
that.
know, like for like 4 seconds I was like, that's what I'll do. But then I was like, no, I think that's one of my favorite or most relaxing things to do, especially in the morning, because it kind of helps me wake up,
You should adopt a child should Uma pass away.
Yeah.
And
Walk it.
in a stroller when it's a baby first,
yeah.
and then as it grows older and can walk on its own, you put it on a leash.
Right. Well, yeah, you don't want it roaming around in other people's yards.
Always remember to carry your poop bag with you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In the last few months, like Uma is 12 years old, and only in the last few months, I've had to start carrying 2 bags with me because now more often than not, she's like 98% of the time, she's a 2 pooper now.
Wow.
And she never ever was and I remember the first time it happened, I was like, oh, that's weird. And I had to get a leaf or something and
Right.
pick up this, second dollop of poop.
Right.
And then then I was like, well, maybe I'll carry a second bag. And then I forgot for a while and then she did it again. And yeah, now every time she fills up 2 bags, it's like she's really going.
Is there a change in the diet?
No, well, I think my mom probably feeds her more snacks than I did,
Okay. Yeah.
but
Because I don't know about you, but I'm like a 4 or 5 times a day kind of guy.
right. How many bags do you have to carry with you?
About 6.
Half a dozen, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Right. And we were talking about this earlier because what else would we talk about? But
Because we're idiots.
yeah, we're dumb. And I was walking my dog when I talked to you, and I was like, one of us just pooped outside, and I started thinking, I was like, how cool would that be if I could really just, like if, well, like somebody's like, hey, and you're like, well, I'm gonna clean it up, and they're like, well, you better. That's all we ask.
Sure, I mean, that's the law, right?
Yeah. How great would that be?
I can't deny that I thought about it on our walk.
Right, yeah, because it gets your juices flowing, your body's,
yeah.
Your processes are processing.
Yeah. The machine is functioning.
Right. It would be the only thing that would make the day more perfectious.
Yeah.
So I've been reading porno comics.
All right.
When I remember when I first started working at Mavericks, Jack, the boss, was a big fan of Omaha the Cat Dancer, and I'd never ever read it. And then like a week before I quit there, we got a comic collection that had like volume 3 of Omaha the Cat Dancer mixed in with all these porn comics. Like that was the only dirty comic.
Right.
And then I like
Omaha the Cat Dancer is the first dirty comic that I had ever heard of.
really.
Yeah.
And so I left it on Jack's desk, and like, cause he wasn't there to see the collection, and I left it on his desk. And then the next day, when I came into work, it was still there, and I was like, "Oh, hey, did you see that Omaha the Cat Dancer book I put on your desk?" And he was like, "I was wondering why that was over there." And I was like, "Yeah, well, I remember you used to really like it, and you said it was, really good." And then, and like for a second, I thought he was going to be embarrassed or something. He's like, "It is really good." He's like, "You should take it home and read it." And I was like, "Oh, no, that's okay. I just remembered that you liked it.
So that you two can share your stories."
Right. And I was like, "No," but he was like, "No." He's like, "Just take it. It's yours. You can have it." And so I took it home, and then like a week or two went by, and then I just like one night before I went to bed, I was like, I got to read something before I go to bed. I always read something, and it was like in my pile, and I was like, I'll just read the first story out of there. And it was really good. Like, there is a sex scene, but it wasn't like a huge like deal.
Right.
It was just like this couple in the story, and like, then they have sex at one point. But it wasn't like odd and out of place either. So it was really strange, but I gotta say it was very well written. Like the characters are very defined and like likable, and the art's pretty solid for, it's like just a 80s black and white comic that that kind of old style. But the only kind of off-putting thing is, they are all animals. There's like dogs and ducks and cats and stuff.
Right.
And it even has that extra weird element where they have a pet ferret, but it's not like a little human,
right.
It's like a real ferret. And it's just like, why do they, I guess why they made them animals, because, I don't know that I would even bother to read it if I was like, oh, it's just a book about people fucking,
Right. You
okay?
You're safe.
I was trying to do the solidarity, but yeah. So even though that is the part that is a little odd, it is the part that is interesting at the same time. So
yeah, it's that sort of weird thing, like the Mickey Mouse, Pluto is his dog,
yeah,
but Goofy is his best friend,
right?
So it's like,
yeah, exactly, yeah. I don't think when I was a kid I realized that Goofy was supposed to be a dog, though. I just thought he was some weird animal.
Right, yeah.
But then, like, later on, when you hear that, you're like, that's odd. It's off-putting. And, like, in Sesame Street, there's birds in the trees, flying around, but then there's Big Bird, doing his thing. But yeah, I would say it was really good. It was really good. Like, I would have maybe even picked it as a pick, but I have volume 3, and they like reference, there's like storylines that have already begun before this book, and they're not resolved by the end of this book.
Right.
So I was like, I wouldn't pick it, but yeah, it was surprisingly good.
Crazy.
Yeah, who would have thought?
Not I.
Sexy cat dancers. Have you read anything good? Oh,
I have not.
I read the Batman 66. We could talk about that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I read the tangible version.
Yeah.
Did you read the tangible one?
I have it.
Okay.
But I have not read it. I did read the digital versions of everything that is contained in that book.
Right.
Yeah.
If those of you listening don't know, it's based on the Adam West TV show from the 60s.
Right.
Same, like, kind of style and delivery.
Yeah. It's very easy to hear all the voices of the actors as you're reading it.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about it?
I really liked it. I actually added it to my file at this comic shop called Mavericks down the road.
I don't know.
It's more of a Magic the Gathering shop, but I think they dabble in comics.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I might shop there for a while, then I'll probably switch over to Bellbook.
Doesn't sound like any place that I'd want to go to.
Right. Yeah. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
But I really liked it. I thought it was fun.
Yeah. It's great. If I could be in love with a comic book, it would be that one.
Right? Yeah. So how does, like, you mentioned something about the way the sound effects play out. You actually have to do some sort of toggling or something?
It's called a guided view. There's some comics that do this, where, basically, if you read it on an iPad or a phone or whatever, you, just sort of tap on to the side, and it's supposed to, like, with a regular comic, it just turns the page.
Okay.
Or if you're reading it panel to panel, it, just goes to the next panel. With this one, like, it'll be, Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson talking, and, as you tap, the screen, each individual word balloon pops up.
Okay.
In the order that you're supposed to read it. And then, like, when it goes to the next panel, it, like, slides, to the next panel, and then there'll be, like, the Riddler shows up, and, you tap it, and he gives his dramatic speech bit by bit, and then you tap it again, and, like, the colors change, and then you tap it again, and then there's, like, a sound effect that pops up, like the old show.
But the background art is staying the same, almost? Okay.
Yeah. And so, like, with stuff like that, I was very curious. Or, like, there's a scene in the first one, which is, like, the first third of the printed book.
Right.
Where Robin throws a batarang, and it, like, hooks onto an airplane, and Batman, like, climbs up the rope.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so, like, in the digital version, like, there's, like, 4 taps where Batman is, like, progressively getting higher up onto the rope.
Oh, wow.
But in the comic, it's just...
Does he just, like, appear there, or do you actually see him? It's not like a movement.
No, it's like a progression.
Okay. Yeah. Huh. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Something different.
Yeah.
See, that would be the reason for me to read something digital, is if there is some sort of application like that where it's somehow enhanced or more fun in some way.
Right. And it's I mean, when I first got it, I was just like, what is this? Like, I just want to read a comic book.
Yeah.
But, like, I've read 3 of them now, and,
it works.
Yeah, and, like, I'm gonna get both. I'm gonna get both the digital and the print version of this book, just to support it.
Right.
Because I think more comics should be like this. Just, not just the whole, let's adapt an old TV show kind of thing, but just fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised at how well it sold, because, like, Mavericks sold out of it in less than a week,
right?
And we had 25 copies or something, but I mean, there's some X-Men books we don't sell 25 copies of,
yeah.
So I was really surprised, because I was like, this looks fun, so no one's really gonna dig it,
right? And it's not in continuity,
right? Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's just, why would I even waste my time reading something if it's not going to come back later on the test?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Comics shouldn't be a test.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? What is wrong with people?
What was I saying? It's just super fun, and me, I enjoy a well-adjusted Batman. And, this is the epitome of a well-adjusted Batman.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite Batman comic on the market right now. But yeah, I thought it was really cool. So, okay, so I did notice the comic is split into little sections. So digitally, they just give you like a chunk at a time.
Right.
You don't get you got did they release them like one a week or something?
Yep, every
Okay.
Wednesday it comes out. So basically, the first printed issue was the first three digital issues, and so the second issue will be like 4, 5, and 6, etc., etc.
I didn't notice. Did they say? Is it ongoing?
It is
or-
ongoing.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
As long as it can sustain sales.
Right. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I hope it does well. It's
Yeah.
really, really awesome.
It is super awesome. I think Joe Quinones is doing a story arc,
Oh yeah.
so that'd be cool.
I just read the new FF this week that he drew. Yeah.
At least he's been showing bits and pieces of his art online. You know, just a random shot of the classic '60s Batmobile. And,
Oh yeah. He's awesome.
Oh,
like
he's very awesome.
I was not familiar with him until you said something about him a couple months ago
Right.
when he was doing that FF. Because I even looked at the first couple of pages of that FF and I thought it was Mike Allred. I just thought he was like tweaking something.
Right.
Because I've seen other Joe Quinones art now from other things and it's
Right.
like it looks different. You know.
Yeah, he does the covers for Captain Marvel, and that what was that book called? The weekly comic strip Wednesday Comics.
Oh yeah.
He did the Green Lantern story.
Yeah, that's right. You told me that, and I was like, "That's bizarre." And like, I would never have guessed that was the same guy.
Yeah.
He's good at several styles.
Yeah.
That's another thing I read this week. I read the Hawkeye annual that came out,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I really liked that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like read.
That's in the middle of a storyline.
Well, I know, but it was weird because I had kind of flipped through a previous issue like months ago at Mavericks, and I saw like the Madame Mask or whatever her name is.
Okay. Yeah.
And it had something to do with that
Right.
in this issue. So, so I sort of knew what they were referencing, even though I haven't read all those.
Right.
But yeah, I thought that was really good. And what else did I read? I read I forget what it's called, but there's a Paul Pope comic that came out. It's sort of like a prequel to Battling Boys, which
Okay.
is epic graphic novel. It comes out in October.
I have pre-ordered that.
It looks awesome.
Hopefully, it'll be delivered when that comes out.
The little teaser thing. I mean, it was just like a single comic issue.
Okay.
But it was like full color, and it was like number 101 of whatever the name of the series was. I forget. You know, it's the final issue where the hero dies, and it was fun. It was like very well drawn. He's so good.
He is very good. I did read 2 issues of Hawkeye that I had not read yet, issue 11 and 12, I believe. One of them was the all dog issue, told entirely from the perspective of Hawkeye's dog.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's cool.
it was really awesome because there's scenes where like the dog is just wandering around and like Hawkeye and Kate are having a conversation, but it's all from the dog's point of view, so it's just mostly squibbles. But then occasionally like there's just a word.
Like a word that he understands.
Right, yeah.
That's great.
And it's all sort of done with like these sort of infogram thought bubbles from the
wow.
dog, where like it's just like a little graphical icon.
Oh, that's what that was.
Yeah.
I
Is that
saw
in that annual or
No,
Okay.
but I remember seeing that issue,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't know what's going on here, but it reminded me a lot of like Chris Ware style storytelling, and I was like, I don't know what's going on, but it made me really interested.
Yeah. Yeah, it was all from the dog's perspective.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's so good. Man, Matt
Seriously.
Fraction's awesome.
He is. Yeah, seriously, that's the best book Marvel is putting out right now.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I mean, I really like FF, and I've read every issue, but
Right.
I'm excited to read those Hawkeye trades I picked up.
Cool.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
I bought a new video game.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing that for a couple days.
Hey, unless it's comic book related, I don't want to hear about it.
It is comic book
What?
related.
I know it was comic book related because every time I come over, he's playing it.
Which has only been twice.
Right.
But it's the Deadpool game for the PS3.
Is it just called Deadpool?
Just called Deadpool. Yep.
I love the Cable song.
Yeah. I can't repeat it right now. But
Oh yeah, you should play it though. You should sample it in here.
all right, let's put a little break here, and this will be where the Cable song goes.
Sing along, everyone.
He's a man out of time. Who the fuck is that? He likes to fight crime. Who the fuck is that? He ain't got a
Wasn't that nifty? Wonder what Rob Liefeld thinks about that.
I don't know. Yeah.
You think he sings it along when he's driving around in his Porsche picking up pizza for the family?
Probably not.
No.
Yeah,
I bet he does. I bet he does.
I am curious, but also super not curious about what Rob Liefeld thinks about what has happened to Deadpool since.
Yeah. Well, I know he did some Deadpool comics
Recently.
Yeah, recently. I haven't read those. I own them, but I haven't read them yet.
Of course you do.
Future pick? I don't know.
Nah.
But yeah, I'm curious if he like sort of just went with it, or if he was like trying to bring it back a little bit.
Right.
So I actually am going to read those. But yeah, because it seems like when he started out, he was very like dark and.
Oh yeah, he was just he was a Deathstroke ripoff.
Yeah, it was pretty generic.
Yeah.
And he looked awesome. Like, it was a really like he really just hit up on a good design there.
Right.
A broken clock's right twice a day, as they say.
Right.
But
yeah, because it's a completely different character now than what it started as.
oh yeah,
It's like even the Joe Kelly series in like the mid to late '90s. I think started that.
right.
Where it just took on a more humorous tone, and now it's just like super over the top.
Yeah, which is really smart of them to do.
Oh yeah.
That's what worked.
I will say though, because I read like the first trade of the not current Deadpool series, but the previous one, and I wasn't a huge fan of it. It was funny here and there, but I think the guy who wrote that trade wrote the game,
Oh, okay.
and so it's got a lot of the same style to it, which is that Deadpool is very self-aware of who and what he is.
That he's in the Marvel Universe.
That he's in the Marvel Universe and that he's in a comic book, and here he knows that he is in a game.
Right.
And often refers to the player, and, but at the same time, he's got, like, separate voices in his head that, like, he holds conversations with throughout it. And it's funny, and I have laughed out loud a couple of times.
That's awesome.
But I think the current Deadpool series, written by Brian Posehn and Jerry Duggan, is a lot better because they kind of tone that down a little bit, but at the same time, it's still super over the top.
They toned down the like voices in his head thing, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Until they literally put a voice in his head.
Okay.
And it like works because now there's a reason for it to be there and not just like, hey, comic books.
Right.
Like there's a story reason for it. But at the same time, the humor and everything else is still super over the top.
That's awesome. Are those guys still writing it then?
Yes.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah. Tony Moore is no longer trying it.
Right.
But,
because it went more than 6 issues then.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Oh, that reminds me. My Charlie Adler autograph is currently at 99 cents on eBay.
Nice.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, looking to make some sweet bank.
Oh, yeah. It still has like 5 days left on it because I actually only put it on there like Friday.
Yeah.
I forgot to do it during the week. But so kids, if you're listening to the show and you want Charlie Adler, possibly the greatest comic artist in the business, if you want his autograph, go to eBay and bid it up on my username is VeggieDogSaturn, my eBay name.
Is it a Walking Dead thing?
No, it's a picture of him from the comic book Legal Defense Fund trading card set.
Right.
And I guess I looked to see other autographs, and there was a James Kachalka one and some other ones on there. So yeah, it's just like a little subset of autographs they inserted into the packs.
It's not like anything he drew. It's a picture of him.
There might be some of his art like in the background or something, or on the back, but like the actual trading card is just like a bust shot of him with a CBLDF logo and then his autograph. Isn't that weird?
Why would anyone want that?
No, they all want it. Go buy it from me. It's got a buy it now price of $30, or it's currently only 99 cents, but clearly that's going to go way up. So you should put your higher bid in, because you don't want to be outbid. You don't want to enter $5 or something ridiculous. You just want to go ahead and put that. If you actually go ahead and buy it for the buy now price for $30, because clearly it's going to go higher than that. I mean, this is Charlie Adler we're talking about here. If I wasn't in dire straits, I would keep it myself. He's probably my favorite comic artist. But yeah, it is weird that it's a picture of him.
Right.
Yeah.
And
like James Kachaka's is a picture of James Kachaka, and it just says Kachaka in block letters, and it looks so weird to not see that signature on something of a super cartoony.
Right, or like him as an elf.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just like a photo of James Kachaka.
Yeah, why?
Yeah, it's not a great decision.
All right, whatever. Let's see. I want to see The Wolverine.
Ooh, the Wolverine.
Yeah, the newest Wolverine film.
Yeah, is that? I think I read it's the 6th time he's played Wolverine.
Yeah, I think so. 3 X-Men movies, X-Men Origins, X-Men First Class. So,
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah,
He's a lifer.
yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, he must like it.
Yeah.
I don't think has there ever been a comic book movie where the same actor played him in 6 films? Like even Christopher Reeve wasn't in
Nope,
6
he
Supermans.
was only in 4. Christian Bale is the only one to play Batman more than twice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
it could be.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Oh no, Shaquille was Steel in all 7 Steel films.
that's right.
Yeah, fuck. The Wolverine.
Paul Giamatti has played Harvey Picar in like 100 of films.
Yeah, because that was a wildly successful franchise.
Sometimes the movie is called like Planet of the Apes or John Dies at the End, but
Planet of the Apes, even.
yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I can see that.
The Wolverine. You and I, we both saw the first Wolverine movie, X-Men Origins,
Mm-hmm.
and we both enjoyed it, I think.
Yeah.
But I think we can also admit that it's not a good movie.
I mean, yeah, parts of it are good.
It's fun and dumb.
It's dumb and fun, yeah.
Yeah. The Wolverine, legitimately good.
Yeah?
Legitimately good. It is like like a samurai movie and a western, and it just happens to also have a guy with unbreakable claws and healing factor.
See, that's cool.
Yeah,
That seems awesome.
it is really awesome. Yeah.
But does it have an element of dumb fun where you can just unplug?
Oh yeah, like it's very action oriented,
Mhm.
and yeah, it's not at all like, too dark or too broody or anything
Right.
like that. It is. I mean, it's a classic Wolverine story,
Right.
like Claremont's Byrne era.
Right.
Or like Claremont and it's loosely based on the Claremont Miller series, from 1982.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
So it's loosely based on that, so it definitely has a lot of the same tone.
That's cool.
I
I definitely want to see it. Like, yeah, I saw the trailer and I was like, he's just, I love him as Wolverine.
He's very good.
Mhm. Yeah, it's awesome.
Stay through the credits.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. Is it a funny scene or a spoiler? Or like, not a spoiler, but a teaser scene?
It's
or?
a teaser scene.
Okay.
It sets up the next X-Men movie.
Okay. Sweet. Yeah,
Yeah.
I will watch that film.
Good.
Mhm.
You should.
Well, I'm gonna go see the Omaha the Cat Dancer film first,
Of course.
but then
Well, I know you're a huge fan.
yeah, I'm a furry. I'll admit it.
Yeah.
I forced Kathleen to dress up like a leopard sometimes.
Sure, why not?
You know. She's so good at doing makeup, you wouldn't even know that she's human after she puts all of those spots on. And she doesn't skimp. It's not just like a face and arms thing. Let me
No,
tell you.
full body? Yeah.
Full body. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You are a lucky man.
I am.
She is a lucky lady to have you.
I know. Oh.
Should we talk about your new job since this is the first time you?
Yeah. Sure.
I mean, I don't know how much you can talk about, or
I mean, yeah, I can't talk about any of the students or whatever because, they all have their confidentiality, but Yeah, know the
Just
job.
overall,
Yeah, so far this week was all training, and next week is partial training and some other stuff too. But yeah, it was really fun, and like I'm very optimistic about what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
It's all seems really well thought out and put together, which is not something I'm used to at a career. But yeah, it's just great. Like it seems awesome.
So, if you were to have an idea on at least how to better maximize efficiency to do your job slightly better, would you take it to your boss and then get immediately yelled at?
No, it's weird. They don't do that there.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
I do not know. They obviously don't know what they're doing because, yeah, they seem to like get along with each other and like, have common goals, and it's like a team almost instead of just a bunch of disgruntled ne'er-do-wells.
So it doesn't seem like they're maybe just trying to purposely not have a successful operation.
Right? No, yeah, they don't do that. I don't get it at all.
Huh.
It's like they want to grow and like expand and like, and
be good at what they do.
Right. And then like even the executive director mentioned to me how the whole thing's organic, and if we have ideas to incorporate to change things for the better, that they expect and hope for that. And I was like, this is so weird. Who does that?
But I mean, you no longer get the privilege of helping Magic customers, though.
That is something I've had to come to terms with.
All right. You've decided though that you're gonna go and take care of things on gaming night on Thursdays, right?
I wish I could, but since I can't, just to like supplement my that portion that is missing from my life,
Right.
I've been hanging around at seethy clubs and rodeos and like just offering drugs to people who will batter me for hours on end, and it seems to be going pretty well. It's filling the void.
All right, that's good. Do what you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that your job seems to have worked out so far.
So far, so good. You never know.
Yeah, you don't know what'll happen next week.
Nope. Yeah, but it's weird. I'm actually excited about that.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what this is gonna be like.
Yeah.
This is interesting. It's challenging and thought provoking and fun. Yeah, and it pays. They pay me to do this. So yeah, I'm pretty excited.
I can't swear.
Oh.
That's why I'm silent. Right?
Yeah. Because you're so happy for me.
Yeah.
You just want to be like, Scatman Crothers.
Scatman Crothers. Jazz.
Yeah. Yeah, he was jazz. I didn't know that for a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
Wasn't he? I think he was a couple of different cartoon characters, wasn't he?
Was he Roadblock?
He was definitely not Roadblock.
Was he a G.I. Joe, though?
I don't remember him being a G.I. Joe.
Was he Glomer on the Punky Brewster cartoon?
He probably was.
That was him.
Yeah. He may have actually been Punky Brewster.
Oh, yeah. Come to think of it, I've never seen Scatman Crothers and
Salim and Fry
in the same room at the same time. Interesting.
Interesting indeed.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Alright. So, I should pick a comic, probably.
Obviously, from our previous segment here, we admit that we both love reading comics.
We do, sometimes. Yeah. So I'm going to pick a comic that we both have, so that we can both read it separately at the same time.
Oh, good. It must be something really dense and
it's dense, and it's lengthy, and then we're like, I am going to need the full week in order to read this.
Right.
I think.
Okay.
I think we both are. Yeah.
To like really let it sink in all the layers.
Just to fully grasp.
Right.
The gravity of what we will be reading. Hopefully, should you not veto it.
Okay.
There. I will say this: that this tome, this epic comic. This is the second volume of this book, because we've actually already read the first volume. And right now, there is a major television network adaptation of this book that literally just started yesterday.
Ooh.
And so I think it's going to be in the public eye, and I think we should talk about it because it is one of the most important works that is being published right now.
I love important graphic narratives.
Yeah. So we are going to read Axe Cop Volume 2, Bad Guy Earth.
It sounds awesome. I'm really excited to delve into the myriad layers of thought-provoking complexities.
Yes. All right, then.
Oh, before we do leave, I wanted to give a big what up to Jeffrey Brown. I just read today that he won an Eisner for Best Humor Comic for his Vader and Son at the San Diego thingy.
Comic.
He's one of my favorites, so I was pretty stoked to hear that.
That is pretty awesome. Congratulations, Mr. Brown.
Yeah, read Vader and Son.
Yeah.
But
isn't there also now a Vader and Daughter?
Vader's Little Princess.
Vader's Little Princess.
But before you read either of those, you should read Axe Cop, Bad Guy Earth.
Exactly. All right, then. Well, you...
I should be in bed like an hour ago.
Right.
It's like 8 o'clock. It's past my bedtime.
Because your Scatman Carruthers hurts.
So Scatman Carruthers me, right?
Because even with your fancy new Scatman Carruthers job, I still get up an hour before you.
Huh.
And stay an hour later than you, I think.
Ooh. Yeah.
You
Probably.
gotta
I'm there till sometimes 3:30ish or some
All right.
maybe a little bit later sometimes.
Okay. Well, then maybe we roughly get off around the same time.
Yeah.
Still, it takes me an hour to get home.
Oh, it's almost 10 whole minutes down the exact same road I live on. So don't talk to me about inconvenience.
Scatman Carruthers. All right.
Yeah. Axe Cop.
Axe Cop Volume 2, Bad Guy Earth.
Yeah.
You were going to say something.
No.
Okay.
Save it for next time.
All right, then.
It was Axe Cop related.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll remember.
Okay. Goodbye. Thank you for listening to Gutter Trash. You can subscribe to the show from guttertrash.net or from iTunes and leave us a review. Visit guttertrash.net for email information, links to our Facebook and Twitter pages, and for other podcasts and websites in the Gutter Trash Network. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.